What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only, Ash Brown, and this is Ash Brown Uncensored. On this program, I talk a little bit about everything. It may be pop culture related, but it's probably Ash Brown related. So you got to stay tuned to see what I'm going to talk about. Today, what we are going to discuss, darlings, is... Okay, so I had a question. Shout out to everyone who sends comments and posts on Spotify. I really appreciate that. And I had a question about... I had a post, or I had done an episode about a guy that I dated that I thought was dead. Or he faked his death or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so to kind of fill the blanks in a little bit, this was a guy that I had dated after my mom passed, and this was in 2014. And I dated him because he was a distraction. I was not ready to deal with my grief, so it was easy to kind of set my attentions and affections on someone who would make me forget about what I inevitably would have to deal with. So, it is that. He was in a line of work that if he got killed, it would not have been a surprise. It would not have been a surprise. I'll just say that much. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a surprise because he knew the risk that when he signed up for this line of work, he understood and knew the risks. So when he told me that he had gone out on this mission or whatever the case is, as usual, I expected to hear back from him. And I didn't. Day passed, a week passed. And in between that, I'm texting, no response. I'm calling, no response. And I'm like, okay. Keep in mind, we don't have any mutual friends. So it's not like I can just call somebody up and say, hey, have you heard from old guy there, Because he was a bit older than me. But that's a whole nother story. And after a month or so, I started to have the realization that he may have perished. He may have been killed in the line of duty. And it made me sad. But also, it made me start to deal with my grief. Because it was around the time. So, prior to that, we would talk every day. We would text all the time. He would call me in the morning, he'd call me in the midday, call me at night, all the things. So, we're getting that communication that's, flowing in all the things. And it was around the time that I was starting Ash Said It. And I was figuring out, what am I going to call this brand? What is the name of this company going to be? It has to be something that represents me. It has to be something about me and my speech and talking and connecting to people. And I made a list of different names. And I shared it with him. And he dismissed all of them, including Ash Said It. And my main problem, that's when my antenna started to go up like, this is probably not going to last. Because you're not supportive at all. Because there's one thing into telling somebody that something doesn't work, it doesn't sound good or whatever. Give them constructive criticism. Give them some other example, something to work off of versus, oh yeah, you need to go back and find something else. Figure out something else. Yeah, those aren't going to work. Not going to work. Very dismissive. And so I was very disappointed, but also that, my antenna started to go up like, this is probably not going to be. This is not going to last. And then when he disappeared for 3 months, I figured he was dead. He had to have been dead. There's no way you could go 3 months and you don't call, you don't reach out, you don't just throw up a sign and say, hey, I didn't die. So 3 months goes by and I start getting a call. I start getting this number that's not saved in my phone. I'm getting this number. I'm like, who the hell is this? Why the hell are they calling me? So I am pushing it to voicemail, because I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's creditors. I don't know if it's spam. I don't know, and I don't care. I'm just throwing it, pushing it. And so finally, the number is calling on a regular basis after a couple of days. And I'll say maybe 3 or 4 days pass, and I'm like, okay, I'm finally just going to pick up and see who the heck this is. I pick up, wouldn't you know, it's old dude, right? He starts to diarrhea at the mouth with words. When I tell you he didn't let me get a word in for about 15 minutes straight. Just blurting out all this stuff and all of this and that and what's going on at the job and blah, 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 and the kids and that. Like, he's going in on it. And I'm just sitting there kind of stunned because eventually I kind of thought he was dead. And I was kind of settled in thinking that he was dead. I could have gone on in life and thinking that he was dead. That would have been better than what preceded. So after about 15 minutes or so, and he's like done just blurting out all of these words to me, I am highly perturbed. I am, oh my goodness, I am in the midst of disdain. And he finally stops and, well, you know, how you been doing? And I'm like, first and foremost, where the heck you been for 3 months? Like, how do you just get up and call somebody from a random number after 3 months? He gives all kinds of crazy, like, details about, oh, he was still married to his ex-wife, and then the judge in there didn't sign off on the paperwork. And like I said, I'm rolling my eyes because you're seeming to be a very deceptive person. And any woman to accept this from any man deserves everything that he brings her. And so he goes into telling me all stuff. And also, because I was just curious afterwards, I was still pissed off. I did look up, and he indeed was still married to his ex-wife. And they had to serve him here, and they had to, you know, have the judge sign off on it and all the things. So that part was actually true. But where he was for 3 months, it didn't make logical sense. He was also the guy with 6 kids. I don't know if you guys connected the dots of that. He was also the guy with 6 kids. So I blast him out about that in a very calm way. I didn't like go off. I just was very annoyed with him at that point. And so he explained this, explained that, and then goes into, well, I need $2,600 to fix my car. And I don't know where I'm going to get that money from. I just really need that money to fix my car. So you called me because you thought I was a resource. Just go ahead and say it. You thought I was a resource. And by that point, I was done. And I told him, I don't know where you're going to get $2,600 from. I wish you luck. All the best. End of conversation. Never called me back. Never called him back. People will reveal to you who they are if you give them enough time. You give them enough time, they will show you exactly who they are, what they're about. They're going to show you who they are, what they're about, and what they're doing. They're totally going to show you that. So when someone tells you who they are, believe them. Don't sit up there and create storylines. Don't try to make it what it is and oh, what it is. No. They are indeed that person that you thought that they were. They're that. They are all one in it. I promise you. And yeah, so that was the story with that. But yeah, he was in a line of work where if he had gotten killed, it would have been normal. It would not have been, oh my goodness, there's going to be an investigation. No, he knew what he signed up for. He definitely knew what he signed up for. So that is the story. But I hope that you guys have a great week. Have a wonderful week ahead. And don't do people dirty. Be upfront with people. Be honest with people. And yeah, that's my main thing. Be honest, be upfront, and just be of good faith. Just do it. Just be a good person. It really is not that difficult to be a good, honest citizen. It's not that difficult, but some people find problems in that. It's interesting. Anyways, I'll see you later.